Welcome back to Polar Press Presents. I'm DW Sauer, and today we are going to look at my favorite guitarist, Ace Frehley, with his new single 10,000 Volts. Coming at you, and go. Liking it already. Turn it up a little bit. Not gonna lie. Already. He sounds great. Playing sounds great too. I mean, the lyrics are really on par with traditional Ace, you know. Still the same sound, same lyric style. The only thing I don't like about this video is they're showing more of the band. Like, just focus on Ace. Sorry, bandmates, but Ace. You get it. I really don't understand a lot of the things lately about how he doesn't sound the same, he can't play as well. I mean, I think this really just shows he still has it. I'll go more on that in some of the reaction eval. I mean, this is great. And even if somebody says, well, he's not playing like he used to or anything like that, like, I mean, I don't care. It still sounds great to me. It's a great song. So, final eval time. You know, 5 horns up for me. I think it's obvious. I'm going to go on a rant here about some things with Kiss, and I probably shouldn't, but I think it kind of goes hand in hand with this video. So, everybody who's into rock and metal has heard for months now, years. You know, it's been in the news a lot, and we know that there's been a lot of controversy over the past several decades with Kiss and Ace, and it's hard to know what's 100% true and what's 100% false unless you actually hear one admitting what the other one said. You know, and that's the thing that I think that's going to be always the trying to find out what's the truth behind the Kiss story and things like that. And I mean, Ace has openly admitted some wrong things that he has done. He's talked about how he was a rock and roll star and he was going to live it up, and he did. And, you know, and I'm sure there's been things that he's mentioned that he's regretted and or whatever. And, you know, there's been some things. It's just this whole mess. And I think the biggest tragedy about the Kiss, do we want to call it retirement, farewell? I don't know. Whatever this last tour was, considering the fact that they have announced that they're going to be in Avatars. I'm not going to go see an Avatar show. I think that's just going to take away from it. I was very fortunate enough to see the original lineup. I saw the closing lineup twice, and that was great for me. And I know there's millions of fans out there who never got the chance to see them, and I'm sorry, and it really sucks because it was such an amazing shows with both sets of bands, and I know there's been other lineup changes throughout the 80s and all that stuff with Kiss, but they really did put on a fantastic show. I do think this final leg of the tour, after COVID happened, you know, you could hear the difference in the sound and the voice and things like that, but for goodness sake, they've been doing it for 50 years. And not only had they been doing it, like Kiss, in my opinion, was one of the more energetic shows that you can see. It was not dull by any means. You know, in fact, I mean, there's a lot of bands I'm sure took from Kiss. And so, and I don't mean that in like a negative way, I mean as far as like how to be a showman, because they really did have an amazing live show. It was very good. And I did hear some comments lately about how a lot of people thought that because the sound had changed so much, that whole theatrics actually was what made the performance, because you had all these things going on that you didn't realize, some of the slippings due to age and things like that. And this brings me back to, I'm not going to officially quote, but On a Howard Stern show, Paul said that they would have to change the name back if they brought Ace back to the band for the final shows. And this was, I couldn't believe it. I thought everything was good for the band. I thought between Ace and them, because Paul not too long ago appeared as a guest vocalist. But he said that they would have to change their name to Piss instead of Kiss because that's what they would sound like. And I don't think that's true. Now, I know there's a lot people can do in the studio to enhance sounds and all that. I mean, for goodness sake, I have learned so much about the editing process with these videos that and I'm not even an amateur. Like, this is like complete newbie status, whatever you want to call it. But I have learned a lot. I have messed up a lot. And I don't have millions of dollars worth of equipment underneath me. So, I'm sure there's things that you can do to make things sound a lot better. But 10,000 volts to me shows that Ace still has it. He can still play. He can still sing. He sounds great. And I'm sorry, but that just wasn't I don't think, an accurate statement of what they would sound like. I think that was one of the biggest tragedies of this final leg, is that they did not invite Ace and Peter to come and do a couple songs. I don't think that would have hurt. I think that would have been something amazing for the fans to get to see, even though if it was just at the 2 Madison Square Garden shows that they had. It would have been something, because Ace still has it. At least I think he does. And I know there's been some things on some videos I've seen where people have showed from Ace being live, and he's supposedly has messed up a couple times. And I guess I just don't have that fine tune of an ear to see where he messed up or anything like that. But when it came down to it, I still enjoyed watching that video, even with this supposed mess up. I mean, it was just great to see him play. And I think that's the attitude that we got to have when we go see a lot of these guys who've been in it for 40, 50, 60 years, is that, we're getting to see them. And it's amazing. So overall, Ace, 10,000 volts, 5 horns up from me. I'm looking forward to the rest of this album, so we'll see how it goes. If you would like to see my reaction to something, please comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but I appreciate you for stopping by.